Hi, I'm Sarah and I blog at Whirl.com.
And I'm Kristen, I blog at Rage Against the Minivan.
And today we're talking about something very important. Very near and dear to our aging hearts. And that is...
Turning 40.
Turning 40.
Okay, so Sarah turned 40 a few days ago, and I turned 40 next month. So we are both right at the cusp of 40.
I turned 40 a week ago.
Well, I mean, you're
Today.
my elder, so you've kind of gone before me.
Yes, let me
do you
talk
want
about this.
Tell me how it is.
1 week
Tell
of
me
being
what
40. I am
Share
going to
your
be
wisdom.
completely honest.
Yeah.
I love being 40. I love telling people I'm 40.
Well, because you look really young.
That's
you
very
look good
sweet.
for 40.
Thank you.
Come on.
But I was telling people I was 40 last year. I don't know why. I'm like, well, I'm 40. You know,
Yeah.
because there's many reasons. Number one, just generally, I feel like when you hit your 40s, man, you know who you are.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
Yeah.
You know what works for you.
Yes.
You don't deal with anyone's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I still deal with a little bit of it, but I mean, you know,
Yeah.
it's like, there's none of this finding yourself in the 20s and then 30s, you know. It's just like, I just feel really confident.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
So that's number one.
I agree.
Just, you know, I know who I am. I'm like, ready, you know, I'm just like, don't mess with me.
Yes.
You know, I'm not all like, well, can I please you? Can I
Totally.
please you? Will you like me? Will you like me?
Anyone.
And then, yeah, I just feel like physically, I don't feel 40. When you were growing up, don't you remember, I feel like when my parents turned, well, first of all, when my parents turned 40, I was 15.
Yeah,
You know?
right?
And now I'm 40 with a 4-year-old.
Yes.
So in my calculations,
Very different.
I've just realized that I'll probably be going through menopause when my daughter's hitting puberty.
Oh, for sure.
So,
me too.
I mean,
Yeah.
we'll kill each other.
We planned that really well, Sarah.
We planned that really well. So anyway, my whole point is I don't know. I love it. I love being 40.
I have mixed feelings about it. I agree, and I feel like, I mean, honestly, I do feel like I feel pretty okay with how I look.
You look
and,
great.
you know, I feel like, you know, I'm maintaining a sense of self. I've not, like, given up. I mean, here's what I will say about 40. It's an interesting age because the way people look at 40 can vary wildly.
Oh, yeah.
Some people, I mean, I went to my class reunion, you know, a year ago, and, like, I mean, some people just look like they're my parents' age.
No.
You know, and then some people look like really young and vibrant.
Yeah.
It really...
Well, yeah. I think the whole taking care of yourself and that aging process is very different.
Yes. So, I mean, I feel okay, and I agree with everything you said on being more confident in who you are as a person, and I'm enjoying my life stage. However, there is just something about 40, like,
Really?
life is halfway done. And there is that little, like, kind of over the hill and, like, that loss of youth, and I don't know. I'm struggling with it a little.
Your voice just shaked a little bit.
I know.
Start crying.
I might
You're gonna start
cry.
crying right now.
I'm not gonna cry because I'm also laughing at myself, but because it's so dumb. But I'm a little bit like, oh man, 40, like that's.
I know, but
halfway done.
No, that's true. And you know, it makes you kind of, you know, you can be very introspective and think, what are the things I have done? What are the things I still want to do?
Yes.
And yeah, but you know, also it's like, you know, you could go tomorrow. And so, I don't know. I think you should be sad.
I think I'm a little bit mourning youth.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like teen years. I think I'm just, you know, when you get to be our age, and it's funny because I was talking to another friend about this, you're pretty for your age.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a whole thing of, and it's awkward to talk about, but there's a whole thing about, you know, when you have, I mean, you know, I've striven to be pretty.
Right.
That's been a priority for me.
Right.
For much of my life. And I think pretty is like 20% raw material and 80% like how hard you're trying.
Yes, totally.
You know, so I'm not saying like pretty is a state of being, but just pretty is like a, you know, beauty has been a priority.
Right.
And I think for people who have prioritized that, aging can be difficult.
That's a very good point.
You know?
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. And I will say this, I have a girlfriend who is in her mid-40s.
Uh-huh.
I mean, beautiful, you know, impeccable taste, takes care of herself very well. I mean, but she just flat out told me at dinner one night, she's like, you know what? it hasn't happened to you yet. She's like, but you're going to hit a point in probably 5 years, around 5 years, where, yeah, you aren't going to be looked at anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, you are going to go out to dinner, and, you know, you've been used your whole life to, like, garnering looks here and there, and people, you know, stealing a glance. And she's like, it just isn't there anymore. And this is coming from a woman who is gorgeous. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. You're gorgeous. And she said, no, because, I mean, I didn't really want to go off into this, veering off into this. But yeah, I mean, there is ageism, especially when it comes to women.
Women become invisible.
It's just, you become invisible. And so I will say, when that point comes where I start to feel like I am invisible, that will be difficult for me, not gonna lie. It's not gonna lie. And that will be difficult.
That's
because
the part,
no one wants to be invisible.
No. And I think that's the part actually that I am mourning and worried about.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I had another woman I know say exactly what your friend said, and she's about 5 years older than us, and she told a story about how, and she's totally beautiful, how she got dressed up for a party, and she's like, I look the best I could ever look. Like, I left the house thinking I look amazing for me.
Right.
And she got out of the subway on Wall Street. She lives in New York, and no one looked at her. Like, not one man looked at her, and again, it's like, not that you live for that.
No, not like, oh my God, that means...
But when it's gone, then it's just different.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I completely agree. I think, you know, being a fairly attractive woman, you know, that's something you grow up. You grow up having...
Well, and being someone who puts a lot of effort into that.
Yes.
Too, you know?
Yeah. And then it's just, now I'm totally depressed. Now I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna go.
Well, here's what I think. I do think in that invisibility, I also feel a strong drive to put my eggs in a different basket.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And to push forward in writing or in, you know, music, or the other things in my life that make me feel purposeful.
Right.
Because, you know, in retrospect too, it is a little bit, I mean, in retrospect, dumb to put so much emphasis on my looks. And
but you don't. I mean, you have a lot going on besides, you know.
Yeah.
But no, I do agree. It's just, you have to, like, you have to put your eggs. Yeah. Like, you have to get them all spread out. Everywhere. And that's easy.
Focus on the other things that make you feel visible or productive, or, you know. And then but there's always those women too that are 67, 80, 90 years old that you see that just own it, and they are so confident, and I'm like, I want to be that woman. Oh, I know, me too. Like, I want to be like that woman that, like, with the white hair, like the bob, and she's just hasn't done a thing to her face. Wendy Wolf, there you go. Like, I want to start the Wendy Wolf fan club. I told Rebecca that last week. So I'm like, I'm starting a Wendy Wolf fan club for your mother. And, but still, So that's the other thing, you know, you got to rock it too. Yeah, and I think you need to find, I mean, another whole thing is finding women in life stages above you that you admire. Yes. That you want to be like. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so tell us, guys. Yeah, I'm dying to hear. I want to know how you feel about this aging thing. If you're super sad about it, if you don't care, or you're like pumped. Yeah, tell us.